Hey guys, so this video is meant to be done with your eyes closed. You can be sitting or laying somewhere peaceful with as little distraction around you as possible. Though, if there is a lot of distraction, that's okay too. In this moment, this video arose from within you as an answer, as an exploration, as an adventure. This is a move into the I am. So let's start with the eyes closed. And in this moment, as you close your eyes, I want you to notice the void that immediately arose around you from simple closing of the eyes. Now, there may be part of you telling you there's these sounds, and I can feel underneath me whatever it is I'm sitting or laying on. And this may be giving you the illusion of permanence, of reality. This may be the game of separation from imagination and reality. And in this moment, in this video, we're going to remove that separation. We're going to move you into the I am. So just relax. There's no getting this right. There's no getting this wrong. In this moment, from this space, you are creating. You're not creating right or wrong. You're not creating anything that wasn't meant to come up for you in this moment. So once again, let's move into this void. The void of your eyes are closed. You cannot see anything. You may perceive a light coming from your left or right, giving you, once again, the idea that there is a window around you, or there is a light overhead. But I want you to think about what is touching your feet right now. Where are your feet? And what are they touching? Is it just a portion of your feet that are touching something? Or are they wrapped around perhaps socks or shoes that you can feel? And now I want you to think about what's touching your arms. What is coming from your I am that is touching your arms? Perhaps just air. Perhaps you have sleeves. Perhaps they're just laying beside you, touching whatever it is you're sitting on or laying on. Now, while I was having you focus on your feet and your arms, what happened to that light? What happened to whatever it is you perceive to be outside of you? What were you seeing in that moment? Or were you truly seeing anything? Because as your mind shifted, the void took over in those areas. And when I say void, feel that this void is the birthplace of all you interact with. including this perception of yourself, of this I am. And find your imaginary senses, the sense of smell, the sense of sight, hearing, feeling, tasting, and find more senses within there. I want you to, in your mind, see a rose. Hold that rose in your hand. Feel the thorns, maybe even pricking your fingers a little on the thorns. What arises with this rose? Is there a smell? Are there thoughts? Are there opinions? Are there feelings? Are there actions that arise with this rose? Every single one of these things is a sense. The sense to perhaps put it down so you don't prick your fingers anymore. The sense of curiosity, the sense of feeling around. There are all sorts of senses that arise with this idea of a simple rose. And all of these things are coming from your I am. Now I want you to imagine yourself in a large room, and in the middle of this room are pallets, and on top of the pallets are stacks of money. Stacks and stacks of money. You get to decide how big this is, how large it is. And I want you to reach out and feel these stacks. What's the temperature under your fingers? What does this money feel like under your fingers? Is it crisp, brand new? Now I want you to walk around the pallet. Once again, what are your feet in? Are they in shoes? Are you barefoot? What do your feet feel like as you walk around this pallet? Let your hand drag along the stacks of money. Is the stack so high it's over your head? Or is it chest level? You decide as you walk around. Now I want you to notice that there's a tennis ball in your hand. And I want you to bounce it along the ground as you walk around the stacks of money. You can hear the tennis ball. You can feel it every time it lands back in your hand. Now be with this as it arises from your I am. Be with, notice that as you observed the stack of money, as you ran your hand along the stack of money, from that space of that I am, other things arose, other thoughts, other senses of ideas, senses of desires, Other things arose from your I am with that stack of money. You could say manifested. From this void, all things manifest. The tennis ball manifested. You felt it. You smelled it. You heard it. You moved it. And you manifested that with a simple thought, with a simple I am. You manifested that stack of money. Very easily, you were able to feel it. Were able to perceive its height, the temperature. And as you walked around it, were you going clockwise or counterclockwise? Those were all things that manifested without my instructions. They arose from within you, just as this video is arising from your I am. Take a deep breath. And as I talk, other things will arise from your I am, other thoughts, other ideas, other perceptions, and they all are coming from within this void. In this moment, there is nothing around you. You are not sitting on something. You are not laying on something. You are not feeling things around your feet or under your arms, other than what is arising from the void. Just be with this for a moment. Allow the I am to interact with you, whether it's interacting with you quietly, as if it's waiting for another instruction, or is it taking the reins and presenting to you constant input, output? And in this moment, understand that there is nothing outside of you coming in. Every single thing is bubbling out like a fountain from your I am. You are the source. All of this arises from. You perceive that this world around you, the people around you, the things of permanence around you are outside, when in fact they are in the very same place. The stack of money, the rose, the tennis ball, they are all in that exact same place. The perception that you have eyes. Were you not just seeing that pile of money? And yet, with what eyes were you seeing that pile of money? There were no eyes to see that pile of money with, just as there are no eyes that you interact with your world with. Hence, you get to choose how you quote unquote see, what you quote unquote see, in the exact same way that you chose to see that pile of money. You also see your world at all times, your world, your whole world. In the same way you heard that tennis ball bouncing, with what ears were you hearing that tennis ball? There were no ears. In the exact same way that you are not hearing my voice with your ears. There are no ears to hear my voice. So where is this interaction with you and me coming from? It's coming from within. It's coming from the I am. Take a moment to be with this expansion you're feeling right now. Now I want you to think about your hand as it was dragging along the stack of money. What were you feeling that stack of money with? There was no hand. There were no nerve endings to feel that temperature, to feel the paper. And it's no different at any other time. It is simply your attention to what you are interacting with. All of this arises. All of this. It is simply what you are telling you in the moment, what you are interacting with. The idea of permanence, the idea of separation from a reality and an imagination. And in all moments, you get to decide how you interact with all of those sensory inputs, outputs. When I said to imagine the rose, the tennis ball, the pile of money, you immediately did it without a how. You immediately did it. You immediately manifested that pile of money. You immediately manifested that tennis ball. You immediately manifested that rose and the feeling of the thorns and the smells and the sights and the feeling under your fingers. You manifested it all. You manifested the thoughts, the impulses, the ideas, all of it, without instructions, without wondering how. You just did it from the I am. And in all moments, you do this. All moments. And let's come back to the void around you, the space that all this is rising from. Feel the space around you. The nothingness. Think about all the space that is above you and continues to go on and on and on above you, out into space, beyond our galaxy, and on, never ending. And feel how your I am fills all these spaces with the ideas of clouds and sky and solar system and stars and planets and galaxies and universes and multiverses, how your I am fills all these spaces, how you manifest things to fill all these spaces without trying, without learning. You fill all these spaces with your senses, the sense of thoughts, the sense of feelings, the sense of ideas. Now, within all of this, find you. Find the you that all of this is birthed from, arises from. How everything comes from here and moves out to fill the void. How you are the source of all of this as it fills the void. The idea of time, the idea of past and future and present, the idea of an I am, the idea of a void. The idea that you have eyes that see. The idea that you have a body you interact with. The idea of a home. The idea of a separation. In all moments, you are filling the space around you with these ideas, with these manifestations. You do it without trying, you do it without an agenda. Take a moment to remove the agenda. Take a moment to ask what defines you. And what is arising with that question? What is manifesting in this moment with that question? Which you are we talking about? Which definition? And in this moment, feel how the definitions arise from the very same space that the pile of money arose from, that the tennis ball arose from. The definitions, the assumptions, they all arise in this moment, right here, right now, to fill the space. And take a moment to go nose to nose with you again. Who are you? You, the fount of all of this, the source of all of this. And find the you that is looking at you. And no matter how much you try to move back into the sole source of it all, it is still you looking at you. It is still you, the forever mirror. It is always you filling the void. And in this moment, just feel with your eyes closed the you that is sitting here, listening with ears that don't exist, seeing with eyes that don't exist. And just feel this you. It's not deeper than this. It is this very, very shallow you that is right here. Feel yourself breathing. Have you been breathing this whole time? Not unless you were paying attention to it. That disappeared into the void before. And now, as I told you to feel yourself breathing, you filled the void again. Simply and easily, you manifested air and lungs and sensation. That easily, that simply. And in a moment, not yet, but in a moment, I am going to ask you to open these so-called eyes. And as you do so, I want you to remember, are you seeing truly? Or are you simply seeing in the same way that you saw the rose and you saw the stack of money and you saw the room? And perhaps there arises all sorts of ideas and thoughts of clarity and permanence and realness, and manifests ideas of separation. But to remember, once again, it's just you filling the void. So in this moment, open your eyes if you feel like it, and see how you quickly just filled that void, and how wonderfully you filled the void with manifestations. Not just things you're seeing, but with that came manifestations of ideas and thoughts and feelings. And you can shift them around just as easily as you shifted this whole interaction around constantly. There is no purpose, there is no agenda behind this interaction we've just had, other than simply an exploration. An adventure into filling the void. An adventure into expansion, more than you've ever gone before. Take a deep breath again. And in this moment, I want you to focus on what you're seeing. Are you seeing two? You actually have two eyes, right? So are you seeing two of everything? Or are you only seeing one with what feels like one eye? Notice that what you're looking at feels like you're looking through one large eye, not two separate eyes. Even looking out from the space of where your eyelashes are just above, notice how it feels like just one view, not two separate views, but one eye, one large eye looking out. Now from here, enjoy your day, knowing that you can never be who you were prior to this interaction. You will go forward looking at the world, interacting with your world, vastly different, from a much different space of I am, a space of filling the void, always filling the void, but the void is always right there. It's behind you, in what you don't see. It's looking out from this one eye. It is all around you, the space, far, far more than what is filled within. Enjoy your day.